All right. Welcome back for another installation of your favorite show, Awakening Spiritual Gifts, 11 a.m. Mountain on weekdays. And we're excited to be here. We welcomed a lot of new members into the Intuition Gym over the weekend and especially yesterday. And it was so good to see. And we're really excited to be doing these weekday broadcasts for all of you, whether or not you're in the Intuition Gym. It's an amazing opportunity for you to start learning more about your gifts and being able to develop intuition, because let's face it, there's some pretty hard things happening in the world. And I feel like tapping into intuition, learning about your spiritual gifts, understanding your purpose, like those are the antidote for these struggles. If you can get your answers from your higher power instead of relying on social media or what people say or what the news says, like that is the ultimate power. And that's one of the reasons why we do this. And it gets us riled up. I know Martina probably is feeling some fire too about it. And this is a tool. This is a spiritual weapon that we all have been endowed with by our creator. So
ooh, I like that spiritual weapon that we have been endowed with. Yes, I call those weapons of light. Right, like those are the weapons of light that help dispel the darkness. So, and we each have our own unique type and flavor.
Yep. So go ahead and get your comments ready, your questions ready, put them in the feed. And we're going to start off today with the daily energy.
Yeah. I was trying to look at it a little bit before the call, but I'm going to try to keep this succinct. I just feel like there's a lot going on out there right now. So I'm trying to look for the general message that out of all that I'm seeing. I definitely, one of the first things that I'm seeing is it's like I'm seeing these energetic like bubbles on the land. But what I'm feeling is that they're like clusters of people that are in need and that are struggling and just like coming up to elevate, to be like, here, help me, help me, help me. I've even wondered if some of that has to do with some of the storms that are happening. And you know what? I'm going to say yes to that. But there's lots of different storms that are taking place right now. If you've been following along with our energy reads on previous days, you've been hearing some of the things that are going on. Yesterday, there was a little bit of like, it looked like a cloudy storm energetically. And so here we've got some physical storms going across, at least, I don't know. Sometimes we get international watchers here. So I'm just speaking about where I'm at in the United States. We've got these winter storms. My daughter is stuck in it, or she was stuck in it in Texas. It's kind of been a doozy. She's moving. She's in a truck with all her possessions stuck there, or moving through very slowly because it's very cold. But so I'm seeing some of that, but then the emotional storms, I'm seeing a lot of those as well. I'm seeing, this is interesting. I'm seeing some circling back energy coming up. So let's say you have something that you thought you healed or have overcome, but all of a sudden you find yourself going through it again and going, what? Why is this back again? It's this circling back energy. Circling back energy is not necessarily a bad thing, because all of this it's part of the cycle. It's part of like a big part of what Christy and I teach and go through are these cycles that you go through to the ascension cycle. It just helps you to elevate and to ascend higher. And so, but I'm seeing this circle back energy because this is an opportunity to refine even more. It's like, when you're sifting something, and it's like at first the filter might be kind of big, and then, so you're only getting the big chunks, and you get finer and finer and finer. And so you're only left with the fine grains. So you might be circling back to get rid of some of the little small pieces that were not sifted through the many times that you traveled through it before. I'm also seeing, There's a voice energy coming up, which is, it feels like a collective message, and these are voices gathering together or raising up, like they've had enough. Like, that's it. I've had enough. And so it has a bit of an intensity in the flavor of the voice message there. And when I say voice message, it's just voices rising up. It could even be the voice in their heart that has not yet come out, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's not. So if you're feeling this welling up in your chest and you've just had enough and you feel like you're just like, I just want to scream and say enough, that's part of that voice energy that's coming up, which is great. I'm reminded of how sometimes people run from any kind of anger feelings or the fire, but the fire is actually just a step before courage. Like, sometimes that anger and fire is what fuels the change to take place. So this is great that we're seeing these voices want to rise up and be done with things. Like, be free from any control, free from anything holding you back. Freeing your who you are, your soul, your voice, your expression. Also, I'm seeing a lot of, I want to say it's like parent energy, but especially mama bear voices. Like, I'm hearing this mama bear, like you're messing with my kids kind of feels like, just transforms into this, like, that's it, mama bear. So I'm seeing that type of voice energy, like, this is not okay for the children, which it could even just be a protective measure in place overall, but it definitely is fueled by mamas who are fueled by care for their children, and that whatever's going on is not going to be good enough for their children. So they're going to rise up and speak louder. So I'd be really interested to see and hear how these energies are affecting you guys. Are you guys feeling any of this? I'd love some comments. Like, how is it manifested? This is a fascinating energy read, because I sure as heck, I could probably pinpoint yesterday when this started, some of this energy started rolling in, because I definitely felt it. And it's interesting to see. So yeah, let us know.
Yeah, for sure. If this is resonating, even type yes. Like, if you're feeling it, yeah, I definitely am for sure. So, okay, so let's go ahead and move to our first energy read. Okay, so Shay actually wrote in yesterday, and we just like, we weren't able to get to her in time. So I wanted to be able to start off today's call with her. And dang it, I don't have the message right in front of me, but I remembered who it was. So let me try to find it, and then you can tap into the energy. And
Okay. Okay, Shay, I'm going to just start to get connected to your energy. Let's see.
Okay, here, I have it now. This is actually pertinent information. I've had chronic pain in both of my feet for the last 7 years. I've used a variety of modalities to try and address this pain. In the last several years, I've done a lot of emotional and energy work as well. Can you let me know what you see that would help me work through this pain in addition to what I have been doing?
Okay. And where did you say the pain was? Read the very beginning again.
Both of her feet for the last 7 years.
Okay. I'm just going to look very specifically at the feet. Okay. Hold on one moment. Okay. First of all, I'm going to the feet energy, but it's not even letting me go there. Right here first, it's coming to your mouth and to your voice energy, where it's almost crying out, and it has a desire for, it's almost this desire of, will someone please hear me? Like, you just want someone to hear your pain and listen to you and truly, truly understand some of the hurt and some of the things that you've been going through. I can see that you've tried to express that to others, but they just don't quite understand. And so it just feels like it's getting louder and louder. Like, you just want people to know. Okay, for that voice energy, I would actually, it's important to feel heard, absolutely. But it almost feels like it's going to just keep feeling empty if you try to make other people understand your pain. It feels like there's something part of yourself that you have to acknowledge it. So it's almost like speak it to yourself and then let, like give yourself what it is that you're seeking. Are you seeking approval, comfort, love? It has to come from within. If not, it feels like, just for lack of, like, just for a visual here, it's the difference between pouring something into like an empty, like a black hole. You can keep pouring into a black hole all day long, but it's never going to fill. Never going to be filled. And so when you are filling it within, then it's more like a galaxy kind of visual. There we go. Like in my background here, where then it becomes this internal light that can then come outward. So it's acknowledging your pains. It's, I feel like a need for approval, I'm seeing some lifelong wounds, like perhaps even all the way back. There's some childhood threads of the heart. So I would recommend really doing some heart work. I can see that you've done a lot of work. In fact, I can see kind of some connections up to the mind that perhaps even the thoughts are like, well, I've already done that. I've already worked on this. Like it should be done now. But if you watch just what I just said at the beginning of the earth and planet energy, this is an opportunity. The planet is sending us energy to revisit those things we thought we had worked through, and you're going to get new layers to it. So it feels like an inward reflection, work on that heart and expressing yourself to feel like you're expressed into God. Like it just feels like this, talking to yourself, because that's the only way that you can truly feel that completion of feeling heard and understood. This also sounds kind of strange. Have you talked to your feet before? But I know it's kind of strange to say that, but sometimes when we talk to our body parts, because your feet also have a lot to say. Okay, I'm seeing something about feeling like controlled or constrained, like you're not able to move forward. Again, when I look at the timeline and like the flavoring of that energy on when it happened, it really does feel early in life, and even almost like early in life, and then a pattern was established to where like maybe you experienced some abuse, controlling parent, someone who wouldn't let you feel like you could make your own choices and move forward in life, and then maybe you have had relationships or something where people just try to like, nope, you can't do that. And it like chops your movement off and the desire to move forward. And so there's a lot of that with moving forward. And then it's just like constraining it. Okay. So here's a question you can ask yourself that can help. So right now it feels almost like a light switch belief system. In fact, it came up, it kind of tweaked my head, but it feels like a light switch, like it's on or off, like I can or I can't. I do or I don't. Like it just is on, off, on, off. And so feeling like these things are going on with your feet, there's this belief of, well, I can't do it because my feet hurt. Well, or I can't move forward because of this. Like whatever those things are inside of you, it's like, well, this is the way. There's expectations in your head, and like this is the way that I can move forward, and it looks a certain way. And if it doesn't look that certain way, then well, I can't do it. I can't do it because it doesn't look that certain way. So the question that I would introduce to you is, what can you do? Maybe you can't do it the way that you would like or the way that you would be easiest, but what can you do? How can you move forward? How can you feel free? How can you express that? And so just introduce that question so that it starts to replace the limiting beliefs in the mind. Just open it up. What can you do? It's a whole world of possibilities. It doesn't have to be an on or off situation. So anyway, let me know how that fits, and good luck with that. I'm going to send you love on those feet.
Yeah, I love it, Shay. Sending love to you. And also for all of those who are watching, this is really important work we're doing. So please like the post wherever you're watching, if it's in our Intuition Playground group or if it's on our Intuition Gym page, like the post, share it, comment on it, because it helps more people to see it and be able to receive help and support as well. So appreciate that. Okay, so the next person is Alicia. And she says that she says, will you look into my husband, Billy? He says he would like to know what is blocking him from moving forward with what he knows he wants to do. He's listening with me.
Love it. Hi, Billy.
Someone said, we need more men. This is awesome. I love it when kids and spouses want to participate. Jennifer said that. Yeah.
It's fun. Okay. So what is blocking you from moving forward? Okay. Oh, Billy, I see some really like noble desires of your heart, first and foremost. I see a desire to provide for your family. And to not only just provide, but provide and have it be meaningful work for you. Like, so it's also fulfilling and providing for them. There is a bit of, it's almost like it feels like pressure. And so it's creating some of that fear of failure, or fear of letting them down, fear of letting yourself down. There's something about a parent. You've got a parent that's like fear of letting that parent down. I want to say maybe a dad. So like, like, oh, I don't want to disappoint them. So there's just a lot of pressure to perform and to do really well and to excel. And that pressure is making it a little bit difficult, just because it's triggering that like I can't fail. So it just kind of keeps you stuck because there's a risk of failure. There's always a risk of failure in everything we do, right? And so so there's definitely that. Also too, I'm seeing that perhaps you have a lot of things in your mind. It's almost like to-do lists. Like, here's what I've got to do. I got to do X, Y, Z in order to achieve or have the result that you want. And because X, Y, Z have not been showing up, or they're not there, you don't have those in place, then it is creating a little bit of like that stuckness. Like, I can't move until XYZ is there. So in a way, it's kind of similar to the previous read. There is just to start asking yourself, what can you do? How can you move forward? Maybe you only have X in place, but is there something you can do in the meantime while we're waiting for Y and Z to line up? I'm often saying, like, God can't move a parked car. So sometimes you just got to take a movement and take some kind of action. Even if it's not perfect, if you're moving, sometimes we move and we start taking action and we feel like we're going this way when we want to go that way, but it just takes a minute because it's like we got to go on this certain path to pick up all the pieces and all the tools and skills and experiences that we have to have in order to go that way very successfully. So I would say, just what can you do? Take some action, get moving in a way that you can. And then also too, there's a shift in the perspective with failure. And that is to, one, just to understand that failure is part of the success. You cannot get to over here without some of those failures. So start just embracing them. Like, boom, yes, I did it. Also, too, the second thing, and this has really been helpful for me because I had some of these same things as you do, is that to start reframing the way that you view failures, and they are a type of investment. So I had a wise old mentor once tell me, like, how much would you pay for a college class on how to avoid that, like, he just explained this like whole scenario, and it was kind of a business failure. It's like, how much would you pay to learn the lessons from that? And I'm like, oh yeah, I would totally pay. That's like a college course in this. Okay, well, our failures are like that. So we can just picture those as being an investment. It doesn't go to waste. Like, you could lose anything. It could be a big chunk of money that you're out, but it's still an investment in your experience and your knowledge. And so you can use that for fueling the next piece. So in that sense, you could actually celebrate those failures. You can celebrate, like celebrate. I don't know why I want to say celebrate the suck, but that's what's coming to my head. It's like sometimes it sucks and it's hard. And you can just be like, okay, ouch, but I'm going to celebrate the heck out of that and so that I can overcome. That's funny. I don't know why that phrasing came to mind.
Alliteration. I mean, at its finest right there.
Right? It just is so true. That's such a great visual for all of us because sometimes it just does. It's hard, but
show gratitude, however you want to frame it for yourself.
show gratitude, love it. I know maybe it's like, Billy, is this how you talk? I don't know, but hopefully it speaks to you and resonates because I can see your good desires. I can see there are a lot of gifts. I actually see like a big, like when I look at what it is you're like you're really inside, you'd love to do and accomplish. It feels very good. It feels very big. It has structure to it, which is really cool. It's like I see it almost like in this box format, and it just has to move through you. And it's just the moving through you that's feeling a little like, how do I do that? So allow it to just flow, even in pieces. And so because it feels big inside out here, it feels like it's a big square thing trying to go through a round hole. So just allow to go through and maybe in smaller ways or turn it into a softer format so that when it comes through in the physical world, then it can take shape out here versus so much structure in here that it's getting stuck. So make sure you stay fluid and flow through the creation process.
That was so good. That's worth listening to again and again. Like, I mean, for any of us listening, like it was really good. And also, Jennifer, she says it's a new hashtag. So you invented a new hashtag today, Martina. Okay.
I'm a little rough around the edges at times. It's okay.
Okay. So, let's see. So a lot of people were actually saying they resonated with the daily energy today. So that was really, really good. Okay. So the next person we have is Melissa. She would like a general reading.
Okay. Hi, Melissa. Okay. Let's look at this. Okay. The first thing I'm seeing is, or even feeling here, but I'm seeing a lot of like this word, like these words that are wanting to come out, and it's wanting to come through it's going through your mind and out through your eyes. But so I'm just gathering there. The words are filled with love and concern, a lot of thoughtfulness in them. It does have kind of an emotional, a little bit of a sad kind of emotional component. So I would even say that perhaps there are things that you have been desiring to say to maybe a loved one or someone you care deeply about. And so it's creating just some of that, like, I just want to say sadness. Like I want to cry. I want to cry with you. And these are just like sorrowful, like sad, and I don't even want to say it's sad. It's just, there's some sorrow and there's some ache and emotion to it. And it's based from your love. And it's just, you just want to tell somebody something, and it's through something that you're seeing, and that you could, perhaps you even have some very wise advice to give them. So I that actually feels like something that would be really loving and wonderful for you to create, whether or not that is saying something in person, whether that's writing a letter, like a very heartfelt, beautiful letter, or maybe it's even just, maybe you can't speak to them physically, but there's something that you could energetically speak to them, just imagining their spirit there and just telling them those things. Because energy really does, energy can go through all of it. Thoughts and emotions are energy. So as you express that, they'll feel it. They'll feel it. And maybe they won't have the specific words and phrases, but they'll get the wholeness of that message through that way. I'm also gathering that it could be helpful to confide in a friend or someone to just speak through some of these things that you're working through. It just feels like maybe you've been trying to work through it a lot internally, and perhaps verbalizing it and reaching out and being able to talk to someone about it could be really helpful and supportive to you. Yeah, those are the things that are the loudest right now. And it is definitely like I'm seeing the core root of it coming from your heart. it's like things that you want to do for yourself are almost taking a back seat right now because your love and these other things are taking up the front of your mental focus. So, and then also the last thing is just to remind you to breathe. I feel like a lot of that tension in the chest. So breathe and just know it's going to be okay, no matter what it is. This is not end game. Like the worst of the worst could happen almost, and it's still not the very, very end. And that just have faith and until keep having that faith until it's the end. And then you'll probably be amazed and blown away at the wondrous miracles that are going to take place in the end. And so just have faith and breathe. In fact, I just say just breathe, and a lot of like meditations kind of lifting up some of the heaviness from it and some of the worries and concerns I'm seeing kind of up in the head and stuff too. So sending love, Melissa.
Okay, we have this next question, and it's about when her hands go numb when she's pregnant, but now she's experiencing it and she's not pregnant. And this is Alicia in the Facebook group.
I have had that exact thing. So it's really kind of interesting that you mentioned that. I went to doctors and they're like, oh, it'll go away after pregnancy. And I'm like, and it didn't. So here is some of the sometimes inflammation. And I'm going to look at your energy too for this. But structurally, I'm going to tell you some of the things that help. So like, obviously like managing some body inflammation helps. But then also it's like, I'm going to kind of back up here. Like you're behind your angel wing. I would do some stretches there, even if you can massage it. Also to underneath, if you can see right here, massaging your lats there, like making sure you get some good blood flow. Also maybe some shoulder lifts and just move, and your chest. Squeeze the heck out of that chest muscle. I call these your wings. Like these are your wing muscles. So if you picture wings, you got a flap. So you got the front and the back. So you have the chest. It's really good to stretch those every day and massage those. Keep them nice and open. And then I used to do these like little roll my arms, like a windmill. I go really like in fast and just work out my arm. And that greatly opened up the blood flow and the nerves and everything, speaking to that. This energetically. So I'm curious which side of your body it's on. Because I'm kind of seeing more even coming from the heart and the chest and even the lungs. There was some restriction that took place for you where maybe you didn't feel free. Maybe you didn't feel like your voice mattered. Maybe you're surrounded by somebody or other people that have strong personalities where you feel like you're often giving up what you would want, your desire, your voice, and letting them go be stronger or louder. So it just feels that or maybe you're around someone that just has a little bit more stronger personality and you feel a little bit of that. You have to take shallow breaths or even walk on eggshells a little bit. And it feels like those types of things with not allowing your chest to expand, the lungs, the breathing, feeling safe to take as much space as you want to in this world and to be heard and to take up all that space. Not having that is creating some almost like shutting things down or creating some constriction energy in here. So if you think about that, like breathing in your lungs is right here in this chest area, which is also with your arms with some of the things. And the things about arms too is like, even if you have like carpal tunnel, it travels. You got carpal tunnel. If it travels up here, then you probably have some tightness here. And then it also travels up like the arm, and then it goes up to here. So that's why it's important to do all of this shoulder thing. And then you can massage that arm all the way down and get some of that speaking. But it all stems from that chest and the heart and the lungs. So breathe deep and release any of those nervous energies or feeling like you are walking on eggshells or trying to control yourself, or if you're feeling controlled, let yourself out. So good luck. Let me know how that one goes, because that was two comments, physical and energy.
Definitely let us know in the comments how that resonated with you, Melissa. And Billy let us know too. It totally resonated with him. And that's really great. Okay, so the next person, not that person, Andrea. Andrea is sitting next to her husband. I'm not sure how to say that name. But you would like, it's like probably Hawaiian or something, or Polynesian. If you could do a general reading on him, he's listening with me. And if I was wrong, tell me in the comments. I'm so sorry.
See you. Okay, let's see here. Welcome again. Gotta love having the husbands here. Okay, let's look at this. First of all, I just gotta say, I like your energy. You seem very fun. Like, I see a buoyancy in your personality. It feels very uplifting. And I'm hearing like singing. Like, I don't know if you sing, but I really do just feel this like a happier singing vibe that is part of your personality. It feels, and it's interesting because you have that energy in you, but then I can also see how like you have the ability, like there can be people around you that are going through hard times, or I just, for lack of better words, I'm just gonna say darkness. Like if there's some darkness around you, or feeling like people are around you or feeling darkness, you have this amazing gift and ability to still tap into some of that happy singing vibe as you move through it. It's like a resiliency and a protection almost that keeps you from sinking down into it. Not to say that you don't have moments, but as an overall gift, I see that you can just move through it and it doesn't stick to you and sink you for good. This is a beautiful gift because you can be a light to others in dark places. You can help inspire and uplift to those that are sitting there. And it's like, then you come around and it's like, oh, there's some light. It also feels very like there's a pureness in the way that you communicate. Perhaps you even talk like this pureness that I'm seeing is it's like from your mind and in your heart, and it just purely moves through your mouth. So perhaps sometimes you just find yourself saying things and you're like, whoa, I didn't even know I thought it, because you thought it, you said it, you felt it, you said it. Like it's just a very pure and open communication there. I also see a strength inside of you, which is really cool, but it reminds me of the image that I'm getting is a gorilla. Like you got like if you picture the gorillas, I mean, they just live in such a family unit, right? It's all about the family. And they just, they're all around and they're just comfortable and they're eating and they're sleeping and they're just like, they're kind of loving with their family unit. But if a threat comes into the family, man, that gorilla, you don't want to mess with him. He'll, and he's so strong and he protect. And so it's kind of like that type of thing. In fact, it's so funny because gorilla is one of my, in our chart, your course thing in the gym, we identify even like an animal of the year that we resonate with. Gorilla was one of mine. And it was kind of fascinating to read up on some of the symbolism in gorilla. So you might want to do that actually and kind of see, because that could give you some clues to some of your gifts and your personality, because it's really cool. So I can see that strength in you and that protection. Like, yeah, I'm happy, but if you mess with my family, then, or if there's a threat to the family, you absolutely would stand up and protect them with all your might. And it's fueled by that heart energy and love. So very cool. Love it.
Awesome. Thanks, Billy, sorry, not Billy. See you. It's great to have spouses on here too. It was really cool. Okay. Do we have time for one last one?
Yeah, I'll do one more.
Okay. Awesome. Let us all also know how all of this is resonating as well. Okay. So we have Heidi.
Hi, Heidi.
She has been trying to figure out disconnection from body and spirit. Would love some direction.
Ooh, love that. Yeah, let's look at that. That is actually a common thing, but the fact that you're feeling it probably means it's quite loud right now. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I'm seeing something hard that you went through, maybe some kind of trauma or something really, really difficult, and your spirit just kind of like bumped out of your body just a little bit. It's like, whoa, let me escape that because that kind of hurt. So I'm seeing that. It's not super recent, but I would say say something within the last few years. And I'm gonna say almost 3 to 5 years. I don't know why that time frame mattered, like is so important, but it feels like there's something there within 3 to 5 years that kind of made you bump out just a little bit. And so it was definitely an act of your spirit and your body to protect and to ease whatever pain that you were going through. Now I'm going to look at why it's not holding. Why is it not reconnecting or hasn't been reconnecting? Have you ever seen the Avengers movies? In the last couple, or maybe it was the last one, I don't know, but where Hulk comes back, but he kind of got beat up by Thanos. And so you picture Hulk, he's like invincible. He's just so tough and strong, but he got really beat up and hurt by Thanos. And so then when he comes back and it's just Bruce Banner and he's just in his human form, and every time he tries to get Hulk back out, Hulk is like, no, and he stays back in. It kind of feels like that, where it's like, no, I don't want to come back in because that hurt. And so it's just having a bit of that fear of, no, if I come back, then I'll get beat up again. So it's a bit of a protective measure. With that, oh, cool. And then, so I'm just seeing how to make that click, because it's just, oh my gosh, what is with this message? So you know how earlier I just said the hashtag celebrate the suck? I almost want to say embrace it is another term that's coming to my head right now. Also, if you have not watched the video, we posted it in this group before, but the value of struggle, that is like the theme of like the last 4 to 6 weeks. Basically, I'm going to just do like one line from it. Basically, there were a few different things that I experienced and was told. And one of them was just, do not underestimate the value of struggle. And it felt like I heard this voice and it felt like a strong, strong warning. Like, no, Martine, like really understand this. Don't underestimate it. Don't try to save yourself from it. Don't try to escape it too soon. Don't try to save others from it. Like, let the struggle be there. And don't curse it away. That was one of the phrases. Like, don't like, oh, I hate this, and curse it and talk bad about it. Like, sometimes the struggle just is hard, and it's so valuable. That's when you're developing your wings to fly. That's when you're strengthening yourself. So if you haven't watched that message, I would recommend watching that, because that's kind of coming up, is just this: learn to embrace it, not just embrace it, but love it and see the value in it. And whatever you went through in the trauma, can you find meaning in it? Can you find the way that you were strengthened and all the good things? And then now when you're reintegrating your spirit and your body to be one, instead of your body going, no, I'm scared, or your spirit wanting to jump because it's scared, you can just bring it in and be like, no, like, this is good. Like, we actually learn best through hard things. It's the way even our brain is wired. So it really does go deep into our earthly experience and our mental and our emotional space. Now, obviously, you want to, like, I don't know what level of trauma that is. You also, you got to navigate that and be really mindful and watchful, like, so you're not triggering any trauma signals. But one of the best ways to do that is just to sit and to breathe, to let it come in, imagining it coming back together, taking those breaths and talking to yourself. Telling yourself how valuable it is, telling yourself that it's okay, telling yourself that you can do it. If you made it through that hard thing, you can make it through. Like there's strength there. And then if there's any emotions, I can see that perhaps there were some emotions that I'm seeing, like a pressure cooker, or some of these emotions wanted to come up, and it's like you wanted to put a lid on them, because like, nope, I don't want to deal with the emotions there. With all this circling back energy on the planet right now, you might actually be required to lift the lid a little bit and process some of the emotions. If you choose to do that, give yourself lots of grace, give yourself time, give yourself space, give yourself resources and people and whatever you've got to do to finish processing the emotions. And so that those are out, so that you're a more pure vessel, and so that things can cohesively connect and you'll feel that connection stronger. So yes, definitely let us know on that one. Sending love to you.
I love that. So, well, that's the end of our show. It's already time. I can't believe it. So, please share this video and this opportunity with your friends. Like this. It helps us to reach more people. And also, too, if there's any of you who would like to ask a question in a non-public forum, we have two ways to do that. You can message our page, or you can email us at soulspectrumuniverse.com. So that's it for today. Tune in tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain. And in the meantime, if you haven't already, please go ahead and join our free Facebook group, the Intuition Playground. We would love to have you. We have some cool things in there, including a quiz and a free class and lots of cool discussions. So also, if you haven't taken the quiz, there's the URL I just threw up on the screen right there. And anything else you want to mention, Martina?
No, I just feel gratitude for you guys today. I'm grateful that you're here. I love connecting to you, and I feel you. And like I almost said that. I don't like saying all the trendy phrases like we're all in this together. No, I don't like to say the trendy phrases that bug me. But it was kind of that message. Like we're here. We're linked in. We're connected. I like that better. We're connected. And so let's keep this connection going and reach out and link arms with others so that we can help lift the amazing things that are coming in this world. And like we like to say, create a tidal wave of light that will wash over this entire planet. That is our goal.
Boom. Love it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for being here. Bye.